Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Deep Space Nine Reactions. I am Fred. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And it appears I need to slightly adjust the camera bit there. It was like so much top headroom. Anyway, we are in season one, and this week I'm going to be rewatching an underrated episode. A very underrated episode. Move Along Home. Most people say it's the worst episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I say it's better than 90% of Star Trek Voyager, better than 50% of Star Trek The Next Generation. So let's actually put this into some comparison here, because I can think of quite a few episodes that are worse than this. What was it? Dark Page, TNG, Tuvix, Voyager, Cupid, TNG. Like what was it? Dark Frontier, Voyager. What the hell was the name of that episode with Arthur Voyager? That's awful. Uh oh, it's a season 7 episode. That's a callback to a season 1 episode in the Next Generation with Damon Bach returns in a season 7 episode. I can't think of the title. That fucking sucked. To put it mildly. To put it mildly. So safe to say, these are just off the top of my head. I can think of episodes that are worse than Move Along Home. And in terms of Deep Space Nine, it's not the worst episode of Deep Space Nine. Profit and Lace, it is the worst episode of Deep Space Nine, and even then, that has some redeeming qualities. Not much, but at least it has some. Anyway, it's been quite a long time since I actually sat down and watched this particular episode, so it's gonna at least let's watch it from start to finish. As we get into it, obviously, as you know, composition blur on and off. We're using the DVD versions. And let's get into it. Station log. It was a Tuesday. Just think, you don't see the dress uniforms much on DS9. And it shows. It looks a bit snug on. He says it feels baggy, but it looks a bit snug on him. They like baggy clothes on Voyager. I was gonna be on Voyager on Bajor. Thanks checking out the girls. Like he's a teenager. He's like like he's 14. He's 14, 15 years old, so it's kind of reasonable-ish there. And who told you? Yes, blame Nog. Blame Nog for learning about the words in the BDs. Don't have to deprogram him from all the stuff that Nog taught him. Wadi. They like games. All sorts of games. You think the Wadi will be able to complete a game of Monopoly without anyone coming to blows? Cisco comparing first contact to a date is quite interesting. Yes, you got to show respect, and you got to and all sorts of things. It's an interesting comparison. You want to put your best foot forward. Chances are that Bashir, it's like they couldn't get one made for him in time. Is weird. Yeah, Kira's not wearing anything fancy. The dress, it is a dress rehearsal. Now, I am going to have something to say about Bashir and Cisco in another episode in a few weeks. Battle lines, because Alexander Siddig did audition for the role of Cisco, and there's some details about that as it relates to the character of Kyle Parker that I want to talk about when when we watch that episode. Humans with just markers drawn on their head. It's which is kind of weird when you consider like how all out they went with with makeup and stuff for everyone else, all the other alien species. And here are this humans with just like head tattoos, and they want to go to Quarks because come to Quarks. Quark is fun. Don't walk, run. I believe that's the jingle. Hey, you can't blame them. They want to get down. They want to have some fun. Here, Quarks is a place for fun, man. There's a rock. There's a rock flying through space. So as we got some time to kill as the opening credits roll. The Wadi are quite simply a one or are flat out a straight one and done species in Star Trek because I don't think I've ever seen them referenced in any of the books, comics, or any other media that incorporated stuff from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. If they have been reused in some shape, way, form, or fashion, I'm not aware of it off the top of my head. Because, case in point, I mentioned Kyle Paka earlier. The Tosk, as seen from the episode Captain Pursuit. There is there is a Star Trek novel. I forget the name of it. Where like Kyle Paka ends up getting off of the planet in battle lines, and it's like, oh, okay, this is like, and she ends up having like this found by Jake Sisko, and they end up like as heading back to the Alpha Quadrant, but one member of their group is a Tosk, so it's like it's interesting little thing there. Morn, do they have money? Yeah, Quark needs that money. Yeah, Quark is making a point there. You want these people to be happy. He needs to know, do they have money? It's pretty straightforward. You got like you have a handful of folks working on this episode, at least on the teleplay. Now's not the time for business work. That's Quark's first mistake, giving him a free spin. Wager, yes. Is that a Ferengi expression? Good things come in small packages. 6. The Klung Peaks. Wonder what they could be used for. All right. How about some ale? Looks like Kool-Aid, to be fair. And tastes like vomit. One man's price is another man's worthless. Take the juice. Yeah, precious gems and stones. It's like you appeal to Quark's greed. He's a Ferengi. Dozen hours later. So like Cisco's been there so long that he and is talking to Quark. Like, oh yeah, blame some get some other captain that should be here working on this. Like, Cisco needs to hit the slack. The slack needs to hit the sack. He is tired. They're so excited of playing Dabo. They have won. How much have they won? Hey, give her another girl. Get another Dabo girl or somebody else there. Seriously, I wonder how many hours they've been there. Ah, yes, the cheating is like the end. But he knows he's cheating. But that's the thing. The thing with a game of chance is that it needs to. It really depends. Like good luck only lasts for so long. But, don't blame Nog. And he was if we're working on a school project. It's like I really don't understand what's again. It takes Cisco. Cisco does have like that bias towards the Ferengi to some degrees. But then again, that's the Federation's typical attitude towards the Ferengi, and it comes to a head. And what was it? At the end of the second season. Don't blame him, Quark. Actually, you can blame him for getting caught. Need a different system there. There's like, don't put the button on the double wheel table. You put the button on the floor by the table where you can tap it with your foot. This way, you can cheat and not get caught. Quark is a bit in over his head at the moment, but you can't blame him. He runs a casino within his within his bar and hollow suite arcade. It's like It's like he has to look out for his own profits and such. On this game, you say. I kind of wish the rules were really more established here than what we actually see over the course of this episode. Yeah, you're given like 4 lives, 4 characters of sorts, and you have to what, get them all the way down, get them all the way home. But it's not it's never it's never explained. But what's the wrong with starting at the first shaft? You play at the start with the lowest difficulty possible. Drink of water for the working man. Cisco wakes up in his uniform, no less. Which is actually going to raise a question towards the end of this episode, which I'll point out. Cisco is removed from his quarters in his pajamas. And the episode ends with him in his uniform, and not his sleepwear. The camera work, though, is like showing it from the up perspective. But if he looked up and you see like the giant faces and stuff, that kind of probably would have been better. But he's thinking he's in a hollow deck or hollow suite, like like he's going through all the natural things. Like, and how did I give him a tricorder too? So the Wadi's technology, they can transport you, they can change your clothes, and give you a tricorder, all within the span of like a few seconds. That's some pretty impressive fucking tech right there. Oops, wrong thing, wrong button. Now, if it was just Cisco, they probably could have had a lot more fun with this, of him working his way through the puzzles and such. But you needed to obviously include multiple people along the way. Ooh, move along home. It's like, yeah, great effort of trying to stop the door. And of course, Alexander Siddig's greatest performance in, throughout his entire career. Yes, maximum effort, Doctor. You're having a nightmare. Are you? Is it calling guests of the Wadi? It's also interesting that he plucks like all the people that greeted them the at the airlock for first contact. Oh yeah, Kira ain't having it. She didn't. She Kira signed up for a desk job. She didn't sign up to be dragged into typical Starfleet shenanigans. Oh yeah, that's the worst thing that you can do. This thing we're still over like 2 seasons away from bald Cisco. Wait, does he shave his? No, I know he gets the goatee in season 3. I forget when he go chromes the dome. Nope, can't. Yeah, he can't find him anywhere. And like the fact that Oda says, "Okay, you go to school. I will look at that." Oh, Keiko's and Oda knows they're checking out the girls. Okay. Uh, this is Odo being cool. It's like, it's like you're there to check out the girl. Jake says like no, and he's like, yeah, okay. Let me go. I'll search for your father. You you do what you need to do to stay calm and it's like and distract yourself. I was like, Odo being cool there. When you think about it's kind of it's one of the few last times we see Pilum on the station. The Wadi party is still going. Yes, you lost a commander, a major, and two lieutenants. Right? No, wait. O'Brien's the chief. You're the constable. Deal with it. Is the board ready? Check and chap you. How much you want to wager? He doesn't even know the rules. It was like, what is the minimum wager? It's a bit unfair because every game has a tutorial or an instruction manual. So it's a bit suspect that Quark is not getting any that he's not getting like any instructions. Like the rule being so cryptic there. But is it there this what we don't see is really from Quark's perspective here. Is there a display or something that indicates what is happening within the game world? It is like there is a lot of things here, but that raises so many questions, and they go around things to like be overly cryptic, like as if this was TNG. Like again, this episode was as like yes, it'll definitely work as a next generation episode because that's kind of like the style of the time. And let's get to it, folks. And count to four. Alamarain, then three more. Alamarain, if you can see. Alamarain, you'll come with me. Alamarain, count to four. Alamarain, then three more. Alamarain, if you can see. Alamarain, you'll come with me. Alamarain. Like credit to the little girl for having to repeating it and trying to keep the cadence going. She speeds she's she's speeding it up and having to not to lose like her breath. It's like that force field hurt. But what's great about the scene is that they're figuring it out. They're piecing together one by one. Kira just Kira tries to walk through it, doesn't work. Bashir figures like okay, jump on the platform on the little panels on the floors, following the pattern. However, he missed the important detail and gets zapped hard. And as Gizia points out, you didn't do the rhyme. Yep. All together now, everybody. Alamarain, count 2, 4. Alamarain, then 3 more. Alamarain, if you can see, Alamarain, you'll come with me. And I love the fact that Avery Brooks actually sings it perfectly. You can hear him. Alamarain, count 2, 4. Alamarain, then 3 more. Alamarain, if you can see. Alamarain, then 3 more. Alamarain, if you can see. Alamarain, you'll come with me. So you're watching that with subtitles and stuff like that, and you try to stay with the rhyme, but it goes in a round like row your boat, and so it makes things quite interesting. But that's not a bad scene, because what do you get with that scene? I says just say, okay, they come in here to see the little girl bouncing back and forth uh, over the course of this little hopscotch panel. There's a force field. Bashir, Bashir realizes part one of the puzzle. Jazia realizes part two. Then we get the fun little moment, and then we get to hear Avery Brooks' singing voice. Yes. Gotta choose very carefully, Quark. It's all another thing, or there's a risk factor in roll. The Quark, I've actually seen the layout of Quarks on the second floor. There is no room for a double table or a gaming table on the second floor of Quarks, and it's saying nothing of the third level. And if you want proof of that, play Star Trek Online. You'll see that there is a proportional layout of the station. Odo pointed out saying that Odo saying like the number 4, and then Quark realizing 4 officers are missing, and then he realizes, oh, there are 4 players. Double the peril, double your winnings. And Quark putting one and 2 together, and so is Odo. Choose, but choose wisely. Roll the dice. Blow the bad juju off the dice and make a successful roll. Rhymes and riddles and mazes. Oh my! Other than that TNG Voyager episode of Fall, there's an episode that really sucks there. Almost similar vibes here. It's like trapped in a alternate world simulation or such. Oh wait, another door closes. Your pawns. I am more of a rook myself. I say that because I played Dragon Age The Veil Guard, where the main character is called Rook. The smugness. Kira does not fuck around. Things. Things are going on, Kira. You relax. Go with it. So are they drinking? They're not drinking like orange juice. It, well, the room is drugged. No, the air is poisoned, Cisco. It's all fuzzy. Somebody turned on that fog machine up to a fairly large degree. Follow, tell us something to drink. Move along home, but have a drink first. Problem is, this scene must have sucked to have filmed because of the fog machine and having to force yourself to call the cough. And Bashir had the right idea: get hammered before you die. Bashir realized what the solution was. Get yourself smashed. I would never understand people clapping like this. It's like, yes, it's less painful. Scientific method is essentially guessing. It's part of it. Step 4, step 5. Move along home. Another great over the head shot there. Disco just wants to punch something. Wait, the door that opened was the other one. This one was not the door that opened. Bit of a odd choice there. Alan Moraine, come with me. If you can, then you'll see. Just gotta count to 4, then 3 more. You can see. You come with me. Work fascinated with his winnings. Interesting cut there, but yeah, the Wadi Tech is something wild. Primin is not a science officer; he's a security officer. Odo can go anywhere he wants. Is it Starfleet policy? He's not in Starfleet. It's like he can go over there. We have 4 missing people. He can go wherever the hell he damn well wants. No, it's not. Gave you an order. Oda would obviously take the responsibility if there's a diplomatic incident of some kind. He has a tricorder. So if he's shape shifting, what becomes of the tricorder? Because that's never a factor in there. It's a bright light. Go towards the light. Welcome back to Quarks. Quarks is fun. Don't walk, run. Follow new. Hey, choose a safer path. Now, again, Quark blowing on that dice. People, they are not pleased. Explain. This is where, again, if we knew more of the rules of the game of Chula, things would actually make more sense there. The level. Something is coming. It's what is coming. What is coming is a plot device to send an actor to cameo over on a horrible episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights. Who will it be? Who will be chosen? Oh, you have too much charisma. You're too intimidating. You're too hot. Back to you. Yes, you were gonna make a pointless cameo on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Episode 1 of Birthright. It was supposed to be Terry Farrell, but they swapped things around to have it be Bashir, since he was the first one that got eliminated over the course of the episode. Can't be. I like the fact that what Follow says there. Okay, if you want to play after Quark is done, you can have that player back. So that's a wonderful little detail there. It's like that's the major that's the first indicator that that they're not really in danger. Where he says like, yeah, if you want to play after he's done, it can be arranged for you to have that player. Interesting. Interesting. I highly doubt anybody else will consider that possibility. Now, there are a few things. Yes, blow on the Moto. He wants you to blow on his dice. Now, of Yellow. Sacrifice one that two may live. It adds to the tension there, but contradicts what was said just prior. But it's an interesting conundrum. Yes, he can. Or trying to choose, being pressured into the situation. Like, choose one. But who would it be? It has to be the little one. Has to be Kira, because she is shorter than Cisco and Dax, and it's the two taller pieces. Or getting down on his knees. He'll never cheat again. And when you think about it, over the course of Deep Space Nine, Quark never really cheats. At least when it comes to gambling again. Like, he's on his hands and knees, man. He's begging. It's like to just look over the table. Is he pretending? Quark bluffed the hell out of that. Okay. Oh wow. It's like you don't want to sacrifice. Okay, one will be selected at random. One last move. Like Kira saying I should have eaten something at the party section. Wait, but Kira would toss the buffet. Found the way home, and it's an open door to the planet Hell set. That's actually a wonderful thing. Was like you actually have it built in there to cross from one set to the next. And Dax was selected at random. My leg, my back, my leg, and my back. I know it says my neck, my back, but what are you gonna do? Is Dax hurt? Really? Follow from the light. Step 6. And there's a quake. There's a quake. Wouldn't it be directly under the fault line at this point? So what is she? She got like a bad sprain? And that's what it has to be, because if it's not broken, that's what it has to be. Unless you pulled a hammy. No, no, it's a lower leg. You pull a calf muscle, a Charlie horse on the in the calf. And yes, again, and this is impressive set here. Is like that platform is clearly bigger than it is for them to be on the standing on. But still, it's enough to give like the pretend of like a short ledge. Shuffle along, shuffle along to the left. Have her sit down here. Like, where do you go? Yeah, that's a hell of a fall. At least there's a bottom. There's a bottom to that pit. It's like, wait, how do you assume that they can make that jump? Yeah, okay. Lex pulling off that her friendship and lifetime as Curzon with Cisco here. And she would. Dax Dax totally will leave Cisco behind. Because she is that type of she is that practical. And anybody that says that she wouldn't, there's an episode in season 7 with Ezri where she straight up tells Worf off about like how the Klingon Empire deserves to die. And, and it's just like you think Dax will not is not that callous that she will not leave someone behind? She totally would. You don't see it often, but she would. She can be very pragmatic. That ledge is very, very short. I kind of wish that when Dak says like if I was your superior officer, I would have you two court-martialed. And then Kira says, "I'm not in Starfleet. You can't you cannot court-martial me." Impressive to like the with the angle to have it partially slip off the little ledge platform there. Move along, move along home. Shaking has stopped. Clearly, Cisco has not done any free climbing the way Kirk did. A few meters more. Keep shuffling along. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. And if you, oh gosh, you know, now I think about it, I've only played Uncharted once. This is what it kind of reminds me of. Is like the hand strength and stuff. And you gotta feel bad for Nana Visitor because she is the shortest of the three. She's literally standing on her tiptoes to grab whatever like thing that they have above them for that illusion, while Avery Brooks and Terry Farrell are like their arms are like barely extended up. Most people say it's like, oh, that's them just jumping off. No, they actually fall off. There's a couple forward flips and stuff. But again, this is where I think back to the continuity of shouldn't have Cisco been in his pajamas or something. Now, here's the thing that would have made this better. There's a different ending to this episode that was intended. Of course not. It's only a game. You were never in danger. Cisco's about to punch someone. It's like Cisco wants to beat someone's ass. Yeah, don't blame them. You let. It's not Quark's fault. You. Yeah, it's like we were groveling you, like a little cheating. Yeah, you say something. Yeah, there was a little something about cheating there. Which is too. Quark was under a lot of pressure once, especially when he's like, yeah, like a rematch is certainly in order there. But Cisco wants to punch someone. Excuse me, he wants Quark wants to get their hand on that game. Like, how can you set it up for like a hollow suite or something? Maybe. Okay, so about this episode and the alternate ending here is like Bashir obviously gets taken out. All right, when the Quark makes that bad roll. Now the other ending, and this would have been better this here, is that Quark would have gotten the ending was that Quark wins, has his winnings, he gets Dax, Kira, and Cisco all home. But then the question is, what about Bashir? And like to get Bashir back, Quark would have had to forfeited all of his winnings to get Bashir back, which that I feel would have been a much better ending, and actually knowing that is what was intended. But for whatever reason, they went with the ending where Quark loses. I mean, you could still get the payoff of Quark. So kind of explain Weasel was around explaining that he cheated and whatnot, but Quark was just doing what you see in any typical casino, either whether it be uh, in Atlantic City or Las Vegas. The house always wins, and it's like the games are rigged in favor of the house. So it's like Quark was only doing what was his prerogative as the proprietor of his establishment. A lot of folks give this episode such a bad time, but there's a lot to this episode, especially when you start piecing things in here. Little detail that I noticed, a follow saying is like, and I know I'm harping on this, I'm going back to it. Odo's saying is that I want that player back. If Odo's saying, yeah, okay, that can like if you want to play, that can be arranged. That's like the first major indicator that no one's actually in danger. It's like still it says like double the peril, double your winnings and stuff like that, and still is like the misleading nature of it. Now, do I feel that the rules and stuff of Chula should have been explained, or at least some of the rules or the basics of it, yes, it absolutely should, because there is a question of how much time is passing in sync. Like with Cisco, Bashir, Kira, and Dax within the game world, is what they are perceiving as time moving much uh faster, where they think they're trapping there for hours and stuff on end, because we don't really get an indication of, like, with the rolls and stuff, when Quark rolls the dice, it's like how much time is actually passing, unless there is something, the system of the game is indicating, like calculating variables or what is happening within the game world to determine different events and outcomes. Again, so there's so much there here, and again, this is not again. I'll go back to what I said, like in the intro, that a lot of people say that this is the worst episode of Deep Space Nine. Because far from it. It's not the worst. It's not even. It's nowhere. It's nowhere near as bad as Prophet and Lace, from later in the series, because you get a lot there, like with the problem solving, a Quark, being put in a. This is essentially the episode where it proves that Quark can carry a main plot on his own or be the center of attention, and you give a lot to everyone else to do. Like Jake gets something to do, and it gets a few scenes. It's like, obviously, Kira, Cisco, Dax, and Bashir get a lot to do. Odo gets a lot to do. Primin being there in replace of O'Brien actually gets a couple of scenes that clearly would have been for O'Brien if Colmini wasn't making a movie at the time of filming of the episode. And I know there are some people saying there's like there are some knuckleheads who would say there's like, well, Star Trek should have been Cole Meany's priority. Is like he's missing too many episodes and whatnot. No, he returns. I forget what episode he actually returns, but it gives enough. When you have a character that's not there, they're saying that they're somewhere else and whatnot, it actually opens the door for like more possibilities. You take a character out, it's like, yes, O'Brien is on Earth with Keiko for Keiko's mother's birthday and other family shenanigans and stuff. You know what? It gives things a lot of room to breathe. Go look at TNG season 1 and Voyager season 1. You don't have anything like that, and where you got characters get sidelined for no apparent reason. It's like, how many times in season 1 of TNG was Troy written out of the episode? That she was clearly not there. That she is off visiting her mother on Beta Z or some nonsense like that. It's like, it's quite remarkable. Anyway, we will wrap this up here. Don't be surprised if the next week's episode has me wearing the same shirt I'm recording them back to back. Anyway, tighten your friendship bracelet, stay safe, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, folks.